Hey you guys, welcome to K's Unpopular Chronicles. This channel is for growth, love, protection, life lessons, accountability for self, resurrection, and putting an ending to all destruction, chaos, conflict, and confusion. We are all students, but few are true teachers. I am here to give chronicles of testimony to the collective, as I am a true servant to the Most High. So, I was like sitting back and thinking of basically where I was like 3 years ago. 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, where I just was, like where my mindset was. And it's totally different from how it is now. I don't really recognize myself in who I've become because it's someone that I never thought I would be. And what I mean by that is someone who can really rely on oneself, someone that can really be in their own setting and love it and nurture it and really put all of their love that they give it to their self. I never thought like I would be the one constantly doing that on a regular basis for myself, because I was always the individual that would want to give regardless. And I still do, but what I do is I make sure that I am okay, that I'm well taken care of, that I can give this love or give this nurture to someone and not be depleted or feeling less than in the end. Because when I feel that way, or if that does happen, that like lets me know that I need to kind of go away from you, or not, or like kind of have boundaries, not really be around you as much. And a lot of people that I was around, it was my family, my friends, and it was just, I would feel so tired, and I wouldn't understand why I would be so tired. I would be so tired. I would, as soon as like I would go to the person that I was dating with, when I would go to their house, I would be tired and I would just want to go to sleep. I'll watch TV, I'll look at TV, I'll listen to, podcasts and everything like that, but then I'll go to sleep. I would be so tired. And if I wasn't sleeping, I was working. And if I wasn't working, I was cooking. That was like pretty much what I did, nonstop. And then at the time, I was also an alcoholic. I would drink all the time, morning, and people think that just because you're drinking champagne, you're not an alcoholic. No, you're an alcoholic. If that's all you drink, okay, I get it, but you're still an alcoholic because it's alcohol. If you're drinking like every day a mimosa or whatever, like with champagne, mimosas are champagne with some orange juice, then like you're not an alcoholic. No, you're still If you have to like have that in order for you to be cool, copacetic, you're an alcoholic. And that's what I realized about myself. I said, dang, I gotta be like not all like in my head or me feeling some kind of way unless I drink. So let me drink and then I can feel kind of like let loose rather than being like all like uptight and kind of like not wanting to converse or not wanting to like kind of be around people. And that's crazy. It's like when I looked at it, I had to realize that, dang, I was only around these people because like I had to drink around them in order to be around them. Like, what the heck is that? As soon as I was like done hanging out with these people, with family, friends, whatever, I stopped drinking like cold turkey. I just like stopped. I was done. I was not drinking anymore. I said, I'm not drinking anymore. And I don't know what came over me to like feel that way, but I was done. It was like something in me just like, it was death. It was like dying. A lot of things were like shedding away from me. And then like pounds started shedding, but it was because when I was going through like this transition or this awakening, I was like not eating. I didn't want to eat. And when I started eating, I started eating like good. Like I would make my own meals and I would eat a lot of fruits and then veggies. And then I would only eat like a certain meat. It would be like seafood meat. So, but at first I wasn't eating, and then I wasn't sleeping. I wasn't sleeping at all because it's like my mind, my body, everything had to process that I'm like no longer around these people, and I really have to set my boundaries and really be stern with the decision that I made. I cannot go back on this because it was not benefiting me in no way, shape, or form. It was not. None of these relationships. They were super codependent. They were relationships that were completely toxic. So I had to really get myself in a mindset as to where I had to really lean on myself and the walk that I was going in. And it's like this pathway, you don't have really nobody like that. And when you go down a certain pathway, when you just start shedding a bunch of everything around you, you don't really have anybody. So you get used to like wanting to be alone, and I've always been that way even when I was younger. Like I didn't really mind being alone because I was already alone. So then I started getting into like my walk that I'm in right now. Then I started to feel like I'm not even alone. I have certain individuals that are around me, taking care of me, nurturing me, and giving me all what I need and all what I've asked for. So I had to like really understand that and really get that. And that's the reason why I have the ability to keep moving forward, is because I feel like I'm not alone, even though, you know, friends, only one. And for whatever reason, I don't try to really talk to him as much, even though it's nice to speak to him, but I don't really want to bother him as much, so that's why I don't really call. And he always tells me, like, you're not a bother, like, that's the reason why I call you, because you don't call me. But that's just how I've been. And I think, like, I need to get out of that. I need to, like, step out of myself and really get into another side of me that should have never been, like, dormant in no way, shape, or form. It shouldn't have been dormant. So now the fact that you know that something in you was dormant, it's now time to open it up. It's now time to nurture that particular creativity in you that you kept hidden, that you kept secret, because you just didn't want to. I'm the type of person that don't want to even be, like, in the spotlight. I'm okay, like, being kind of like in the background looking at everything, because I like to assess. I like to assess things rather than being in the middle of everything, you know, being like, oh, you know, hey, you know, all with the crew, you know, how people do nowadays. They're all with the crew. So I'm the type of person that's literally, like, outside of the crew, not the crew. And I just look around and see, like, what are these people doing? You know, what are, like, their angles at certain situations? Like, why are they doing this, or why are they doing that? Like, I look and I assess, and I just basically just look around and laugh, because it's funny. It's funny. But I don't think a lot of people, that's why a lot of people feel like, oh, you think you're better than me, you think this and that and the third. No, I don't think that I'm better than you. You think that I'm better than you, but I don't think that. I just feel like I don't want to be around anybody. And it's like, I think a lot of people get kind of like upset, or they get bothered, or they get like all in their feelings that you don't want to be around them. But as the years go by, it's like, now, like, that would have, like, made me feel some kind of way, but now it doesn't even make me feel some kind of way if someone be like, oh, you know, you think you're better than, and everything like that. It doesn't bother me anymore. Now it just makes me think, like, okay, well, they're going through it. That's just basically what it is. Like, they're in some type of Delusionville because of who I am. And if you can't respect that, then there's no need for you to even be around me anyways to begin with. If like that's a problem, I don't know what to say. But as the years go by, I see like things that I used to do or that bothered me, it doesn't bother me anymore. Now it just makes me think a different way and like really think outside of the box rather than staying in the same mindset, because there's different ways of doing certain things and you just gotta figure out what's like the best way for you. Or if something isn't working for you, maybe you just go about it a different way. And that's what I've been thinking. Like, I gotta continue to think and understand things from a different perspective or a different way, because just my way is not the way, and everybody should know that. And I'm just the type of person that, if you do think another way or a different way, I just don't care. I just don't, oh well. And I think people get upset about it. Like, they get mad. And it's sad, but it's the truth. And so now I just feel like thinking a different way or assessing something a different way is not bad for me. Or just like brushing it off, I shouldn't just do. I should really look at things from a different perspective and assess things from a different perspective. And once I come up with one, I go and I try to tackle that, what I just thought of or what I just wanted to really put out. Because now I'm looking at it from a different angle or a different view. And 3 years ago, 2 years ago, I was not thinking this way. I did not think this way at all. And I think a lot of things that the individuals that I were around, a lot of things that I was doing, it was clouding my judgment or my view of a lot of things. And it kept me in a mindset where I wasn't going anywhere. I was just staying in the same situation over and over and over again. I mean, different faces, but like the same individuals, the same friends. You would meet new people, everything will be cool and everything like that, and then all of a sudden they feel like a whole nother segment. Like, it's terrible. But I don't know, it's just now I'm in like a total different way of thinking now. I can't go back to who that person was and what they were doing and hanging out with those people. Like, I can't do that to myself. Like, that would be an injustice to the walk that I've been going on and the ways that I've been progressing in life. I'm not gonna put myself in that situation anymore. I'm just not gonna do that. That's just not what I'm gonna do. And I'm glad now that I can keep those boundaries up and be okay with it rather than struggling when it comes down to the boundaries. Even though you're putting them up, you're still like feeling some kind of way that you're putting up these boundaries. I'm done with all of that. I'm done with all of that. I put the boundaries up. The boundaries are up. They're done. And that's just what it is. And I don't feel no two qualms about it. Honestly, I don't. And back then, I would feel qualms about it. That's why I would be in that giving type of situation, just thinking like, even when things were not my fault, I will still make it seem like it's my fault. I'm not doing that anymore. What's my fault is my fault. What's your fault is your fault. That's just how it is. Period. Point blank. I'm not carrying nobody's cross. I'm not bearing that. That's a no-no. I'm carrying my own cross. I'm carrying my own burdens that I have in my own life, if I have any. So I'm not going to let someone, something, or whatever come in or try to disturb my peace of mind. I'm not bothering anybody, not messing around with anybody, not doing any of that to anybody. And I don't do that. But see, at the same time, you got people that just want to do that. So it's like, you just gotta think things from a different perspective and just like let it go. Like, don't even, I would just say, like, any evidence that you have, keep it and just keep it pushing. Put in the necessary documents that you need to put in order for things to be on file, and continuing doing so. And that's just it. But with me, I'm not going to mess up the walk that I'm going, or I'm not going to disturb what I have going on for myself, for someone and their burdens, just because, you know, they feel in some kind of way. I'm just not going to do that. I used to do that, but that is someone that is no longer here. She dipped out a couple of years ago, and I don't think she's ever coming back anytime soon. So that's just that. And that's why I say too, when you look at like the progression in what you've been through, and as the years go by, and how you elevate properly, even though you still go through mistakes and everything like that, but you're still, you know, going up that ladder regardless. It makes you feel really like you really have to pat yourself on the back and congratulate yourself and understand that, hey, someone is or was going through what you went through or what you're going through. You have to understand that, and you have to be the one to be like, okay, I went through the same thing you're going through, but check this out. I did this, I went through this, I processed this. You just have to really like teach them and let them know that there's always like an outlet to any and everything that you go through, regardless. Whether you want to speak about it, whether you want to write about it, whether you want to do anything creative to get it off of your chest and congratulate yourself that, hey, you went through this, but guess what? You've like went over a lot of hurdles and you're still doing what you need to do regardless of the hurdles. You're still literally processing it like, okay, I went through this, what did I learn from it? What did I gain from it? Because you gain a lot with anything that you go through. Even when people take advantage of you, or even when people do whatever, while they're in a relationship with you, friendship, family, whatever type of relationship, they're there to teach you like a lesson anyway. So you just got to figure out, okay, what lesson did I really learn in that situation? Or should I have put up boundaries with this person because of, the situations that we put ourselves in? You really gotta really assess yourself and assess why, certain situations happen or certain people come into your life, because there's always a reason why people come into your life. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's Mojo on the side of the road. You met that person for whatever reason. I don't know if you'll figure it out and you find out why, but at the end of the day, it honestly, it's all about what did you learn? What did you learn from that situation? And did you learn anything? Or did you figure out anything for yourself? But I just wanted to say that, and I'm gonna go ahead and relax myself. So I'm gonna go bye.